Ever feel like you're just drowning in emails? Or, tasks keep piling up, maybe dealing with difficult people at work?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of being swamped, pulled every which way by demands, personalities, it's super common.
Yeah, and you're just wishing there was some way to, stay calm through it all, but still get stuff done, right?
Exactly. People want real tools, not just ways to cope, but ways to actually thrive and feel more in control.
Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. We're pulling out the key stuff from Sharon Melnick's book, Success Under Stress. Think of it as a highlights reel for you.
Yeah, getting straight to the powerful tools for staying calm and achieving more. It really addresses what Elizabeth Lee mentioned, the growing list, the personalities, the politics, all that.
Right, it covers so much: the to-do lists, the office drama, the bigger problems that just pop up. It feels relentless sometimes.
It really can, and that's why having these internal strategies is so key. Because you often can't change the external stuff, right?
Totally. So our mission today is simple. Pull out the most practical bits from the book. Stuff you can use, like tomorrow. People say it helps them feel more in charge, less stressed, happier even.
That's the goal. Give you those insights so you feel less spread thin, more successful, and just, better overall.
Okay, let's unpack this. The big idea, the foundation, is this concept of being impeccable for your 50%. What does that actually mean?
Basically, it's about focusing your energy where it counts on what you can control. So your thoughts, how you react, what you choose to do.
Right, instead of trying to change other people or, situations you can't influence.
Exactly. It's about reclaiming your own agency, You stop feeling like things are just happening to you. It lowers your stress because you feel more in control.
It's like focusing on your circle of influence, that idea. You can't make a coworker less annoying, maybe, but you can control your reaction to them.
Precisely. And the book has some great examples, like Vicky, the VP in healthcare. Her boss was apparently a screamer.
Yikes.
Yeah. But instead of trying to change him, she changed her own perspective, her approach. And guess what? She got promoted.
Wow. So she didn't waste energy on fixing him?
Nope. Focused on her 50%. It paid off.
That's powerful. And wasn't there another one about waiting for an email?
Yeah.
Getting frustrated?
Yes, the author herself. She got annoyed when an email didn't come through. But then she caught herself.
Okay.
She challenged that knee-jerk anger, gave the person the benefit of the doubt, did a breathing exercise, we'll get to those, and then looked for other ways to solve her problem.
So instead of stewing, she shifted into problem-solving mode.
Yeah.
Still focused on her part.
Exactly. It's proactive, not just passively accepting things. It's about where you put your energy.
And it works outside of work too, right?
Yeah.
There was a personal example.
Yeah, Danielle had a tiff with her husband apparently, and used the tools she learned from a webinar to handle her reaction better.
So these strategies are pretty universal then.
Definitely, for handling pressure anywhere.
Okay, so this impeccable for your 50% thing, it's not about letting others off the hook. It's really for you.
Totally. It's about reducing your stress, getting your desired outcomes. Plus, it builds credibility. People see how you handle things.
Like that playground analogy, right?
Yeah.
The teacher only sees your reaction, not who started it.
Exactly that. How you conduct yourself is what matters.
And there's an exercise linked to this, the ideal day exercise. Can you walk us through that?
Sure. It's pretty straightforward, actually. You visualize, then write down what your perfect workday would look like, what you'd do, how you'd feel, what you'd achieve.
Okay.
Then you compare that to your typical day. See the gaps.
I see. So you identify where you can use that 50%, control your actions, your reactions to nudge your real day closer to the ideal.
Precisely. You're intentionally designing a better experience by focusing on what's within your power.
Okay, focusing on control. Now, the book talks about this thing called the horizon point for navigating, everything that's going on now. This bit sounds really interesting. What's this new normal it mentions first?
Right, the new normal. It's basically acknowledging how things are now constant change, feeling like you're always on, maybe feeling a bit stuck career-wise.
Yeah, that sense of always playing catch-up.
Yeah.
Feels very familiar.
Exactly. The old ways might not cut it anymore.
So to handle this, Melnick brings in the horizon point. What is that exactly?
Your horizon point is like your North Star. It's a clear picture of the qualities and skills you want to embody, and also what's kind of expected of you now or in the roles you're aiming for.
So it's who you aspire to be professionally and personally.
Yeah, but it's more than just skills on a resume. It's the essence of the leader or person you want to become, their values, their impact, that kind of thing.
Like a personal compass to guide you, especially
Well-
when things get messy. Is there an exercise for this too?
Yep, you list out qualities and skills, personal strengths, professional stuff your company values. Then, and this is key, you boil it down into a short, memorable, encapsulating phrase.
An encapsulating phrase,
Right.
like a mantra.
Kind of, yeah. The book mentions Pamela, a junior partner aiming higher. Her phrase focused on being strategic, delegating well, and being confident. That became her touchstone.
I like that. So when things get tough, you ask, how would my phrase handle this?
Exactly. It acts like a filter, helps you respond intentionally, in line with who you want to be, instead of just reacting,
That intentionality seems really key for dealing with all this complexity.
It really is. And it leads naturally into another core idea,
Yeah.
turning obstacles into opportunities.
Ah, yes, the reframing piece, seeing challenges differently.
Absolutely. It's a huge part of resilience, like the example of the nonprofit foundation that lost funding.
Right, instead of just cutting back.
They pivoted. They created a for-benefit enterprise, basically blending their social mission with a way to make money using a mobile app.
So they turned a threat into something totally new and sustainable. That's a big shift.
Huge aha moment for them. Massive opportunity came out of a crisis.
That's a great illustration. And then there was Lemia's story, feeling kind of used by her company.
Yeah, she felt undervalued, missed a promotion. But instead of just feeling like a victim,
She shifted her perspective.
exactly, she decided to use her company back in a positive way, set her own goals, focused on her health, proactively talked to her boss's boss about her career path.
So she took charge within the situation she was in, didn't feel powerless.
Right, actively shaping her own experience even with constraints.
Okay, that makes sense. Now let's switch gears slightly. Finding the off button, managing energy. I think everyone struggles with this, right?
Oh, definitely. This part digs into our nervous system. You've got the sympathetic nervous system, the SNS, that's your on button, the stress response,
Fight or flight.
right? Adrenaline, cortisol, all that. Then there's the parasympathetic nervous system, PNS, that's the off button, calm, recovery.
Okay.
The crucial thing is the SNS fires up automatically, stress happens, boom, it's on. But the PNS, you have to intentionally activate it.
Ah, so our bodies are quick to hit the gas, but we need to consciously hit the brakes.
You got it. And the book mentions Tony Schwartz's sprint recovery pattern.
What's that about?
It's the idea that you need to alternate intense work, bursts the sprints with real dedicated recovery time. You can't just go full throttle constantly.
Makes sense. Work hard, rest hard, not just push, push, push.
Exactly. Sustainable high performance needs recovery built in.
So what counts as hitting the off button? What kind of activities?
Well, lots of things. Physical stuff like exercise, stretching, yoga. Recovery could be hobbies, reading for fun. Emotional is connecting with loved ones. And spiritual could be meditation, nature, whatever brings you peace.
So it's about finding your personal recharge activities across different areas. And didn't it mention something about different stress responses like tend and befriend?
Yeah, that's often seen more in women. The response to stress is to seek social connection, nurture relationships. It highlights how important social support is as a stress buffer for many people.
Leaning on your network. Makes sense. Okay, so let's get specific. The book has actual techniques, right? Like the 3-part breath. What is that?
It's a really effective, quick breathing technique. Basically, you inhale slowly and deeply. First, fill your belly, then your ribs, then your upper chest.
Like filling a glass from the bottom up.
Exactly. Then a slow, complete exhale. It works fast to calm your nervous system, helps you focus, and lets you access both detailed thinking and the bigger picture.
And it's quick.
Super quick, like 3 minutes. One person said it felt like a 90-minute yoga class for their mind.
Wow. Okay, that's a tool you can use anywhere. What about the other one, left nostril breathing?
That one's particularly good for calming down, especially for sleep, if you wake up at night or just need to wind down.
How does it work?
Breathing mainly through the left nostril apparently activates that PNS, the calming system, helps induce relaxation.
Good for bedtime, that.
Definitely. The book jokes it might look a bit weird if you do it in a meeting, though.
Good point. So simple breathing can make a real difference. Okay, let's talk overload. That feeling of just having too much on your plate. The book gives strategies for prioritizing and boundaries, right?
Yeah, and it all comes back to clarity. What are your real priorities?
Which links back to the ideal day and horizon point stuff we talked about.
Exactly. Once you're clear on what really matters, you can make intentional choices about your time and energy. You stop feeling like everything is urgent.
And it mentions the 5 levels of delegation. How does that help?
It's a framework for assigning tasks. Level 1 might be just telling someone what to do, while level 5 is full empowerment. They own it completely.
Okay.
Knowing these levels helps you delegate more effectively, free yourself up, and empower your team. Avoids that trap of trying to do it all yourself.
Right, maximizing everyone's contribution. And it stresses aligning your priorities with the bigger picture, organizational.
Hugely important. Claire Dolan from Oracle emphasizes knowing the company's strategic goals and linking your work directly to them.
And if your manager isn't clear,
be proactive. Help clarify the team's priorities. Like Tim, the salesperson, getting pulled in different directions. He used an 80-20 rule for his time and had conversations to clarify expectations. It reduced his stress massively.
So having those clarifying conversations is key, even if they feel a bit awkward sometimes.
Absolutely essential. And for business owners listening, the focus is a bit different, right? A clear business model. Definitely. For entrepreneurs, knowing your unique value proposition, your core strengths, what Rich Sheffrin calls your faculty, is vital.
So you don't fall into that spray and pray trap.
Exactly. Like Dan, who tried to do everything but found success focusing on his strength in financial modeling. Focus is key.
So clear priorities, whether corporate or entrepreneurial. Now, what about differentiating between higher value and lower value work? How do you actually do that?
The book suggests a simple method, a 2-column chart. Higher value lists the stuff that directly hits your key goals. Lower value is the less impactful stuff, admin, things you could maybe delegate.
And you aim to spend most of your time on the higher value side.
That's the idea. Direct your energy where it makes the biggest difference.
But what about those days when everything feels like higher value? Or just totally overwhelming?
Yeah, we all have those. The advice is take a breath, then make 2 lists. One for big project work, one for quick admin tasks.
Okay.
Then just tackle the first item on the project list, don't get paralyzed by the whole list, and use the 5 M's to help decide. Must do now, moderate importance, maybe later. Minimize it, move it to someone else.
The 5 M's, okay. Must, moderate, maybe, minimize, move. That helps cut through the noise.
Right, just get started on one important thing.
Now, delegation. We mentioned the levels, but how do you do it well? Any key guidelines?
Yeah, a few things. First, know your glass balls. The critical tasks you can't drop versus rubber balls, stuff that can bounce or be passed on.
Glass versus rubber, got it.
Then set really clear expectations. Give them what they need. And have check-ins planned so things stay on track.
And saying no. That's tough for a lot of people. How do you do that without feeling bad?
The book suggests being straightforward, sincere, explain your priorities, maybe offer an alternative or suggest someone else. Remember Peter Drucker, doing useless things efficiently is still useless.
Good quote. So protect your time for what matters. What if the overload comes from your boss or clients? Tricky situation.
Very tricky. Proactive communication is your friend here. Be clear about your workload, propose different timelines if needed, negotiate scopes sometimes.
So managing expectations up front.
Exactly. Professionally advocate for your capacity.
And meetings.
Yeah.
Productivity killers sometimes. Any tips there?
Definitely. Suggest shorter meetings, 45 minutes instead of 60. Be clear on who really needs to be there, mandatory versus optional. Always have notes and action items.
Good habits. And I mentioned precision question and answering.
Yeah, Monica Warline's idea, basically asking focused questions to get to the heart of the matter quickly. More efficient discussions.
Okay. Any other quick hits for managing the constant flood of tasks?
There's the RAM method for open loops, those nagging things in your head. Recognize it, acknowledge it, write it down. Manage it. Decide what to do, even if it's deferring.
RAM. Recognize, acknowledge, manage. Simple.
And really consciously shift from being always available to available on my terms. Constant interruptions kill focus, as Robert Keegan noted.
Always on culture is draining. How do we set better boundaries there?
The book uses the ACT framework for interruptions. A is allow, give full attention, but maybe have criteria for when you allow it.
Okay.
C is cut it off, turn off notifications, block focus time, make yourself unavailable.
And T.
T is triage, quickly assess. Urgent, or can it wait? Handle it accordingly.
ACT. Allow. Cut off, triage. Makes sense for interruptions. And what about connect the dots time, scheduling reflection?
Yeah, crucial. It's dedicated time to think, reflect, integrate ideas, see the big picture, foster creativity.
Step back from the day-to-day grind.
Exactly. The author said she needed it to write the book to synthesize everything.
I can see that. Finally, any quick tips for email? The inbox monster.
Yes. Try checking it only at set times, not constantly reacting. Let people know your response times. Maybe look into systems like David Allen's Getting Things Done for deeper strategies.
Okay, lots of really practical stuff there. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's just quickly hit the main takeaways again.
Sure. Big one. Be impeccable for your 50%. Focus on what you control. Define your horizon point, your North Star. See obstacles as opportunities. Find your off button. Use breathing. Take recovery breaks.
Right. And then all the overload strategies, prioritize using higher versus lower value, delegate effectively using the 5 levels, and glass versus rubber balls, say no strategically, manage meetings, use RAM for open loops, ACT on interruptions.
And manage your availability, signal reflection time, get email under control. It's a whole toolkit.
It really is. So for you listening, maybe just pick one thing, one tool or idea that really struck you. What could you try this week?
Yeah, even a small change, applying one of these consistently can make a surprising difference.
Which leads to a final thought, I guess. How would really leaning into these ideas, success under stress, change things for you? Not just your productivity, but your actual enjoyment of work, of life.
It's about mastering these internal tools, isn't it? Finding that sense of control and well-being, even when things outside are chaotic. It's a sustainable path.
Definitely something to think about. What situation are you going to tackle differently now? Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.